Welcome everyone to Trader King's Talk by CoinW Academy. We will invite outstanding traders affiliated with CoinW to discuss the current and upcoming market trends and observations at intervals. Today, we are honored to have Ningning as our guest, who will share his insights on Bitcoin, Ethereum, and other hot topics for this week. First, let's have Ningning introduce himself.
Hello, host and friends of CoinW. I am an analyst Ningning.
Let's start with a practical question. Currently, Bitcoin is hovering around $30,000, staying at this level for almost 2 weeks. Many analyses and market perspectives indicate a clear trend. This wave is expected to rise to $35,000 in July, with some even predicting $40,000. However, some believe that a sharp decline is imminent, potentially falling back to $20,000 or $25,000. I would like to know your perspective on the overall Bitcoin market for this week or the next.
I still hold a neutral strategy, as I believe the market will continue to trade sideways for some time. However, the sideways movement will be slightly stronger than most people anticipate. We are already entering the second half of the month, and the market in the latter half will have a slightly stronger upward momentum compared to the first half. There will be an upward push. I believe this for two main reasons. Looking at the long-term cycle, the transition from bearish to bullish has already begun in January this year. Then, between March and May, there was a downward phase, followed by a renewed upward trend. After July, there is also a turning point towards an upward trend. Therefore, I would describe it as a resonating upward movement, due to the resonance of both short-term and long-term cycles, which means Bitcoin itself possesses a strong upward momentum, coupled with external factors such as the well-known influence of BlackRock and ARK Invest, as well as regulatory events involving entities like the SEC and Fidelity's application for a Bitcoin spot ETF. Overall, Bitcoin is in a position of strength. Its inherent cycle indicates a strong inclination to rise and follow a particular trend. However, the reason for the absence of an upward movement or growth lies in the constraints imposed by the external environment. As you can see from the candlestick charts, there are two influential factors. One is Powell, who emphasized in the meeting minutes a strong stance on future inflation and is expected to raise interest rates twice, one rate hike in July, another this month, and a third one in September. The future is uncertain, but this release of a tough stance had a significant impact. Alongside this, there was a sharp increase in the 10-year U.S. Treasury yields in the market, which occurred before Yellen's visit to China and created a sense of panic. There have been many interesting changes in the opening trades this week. There are two chairpersons of the Federal Reserve who have come forward and stated that the interest rate hike has already achieved its desired effect. Additionally, based on macroeconomic data, the U.S. economy was still overheating after the release of non-farm payrolls data. However, the non-farm employment figures fell short of expectations, causing everyone to reconsider the economic situation in the United States. The subsequent decline in the U.S. economy may happen faster or slower than what people imagine, and a recession could arrive sooner or later than anticipated. In this scenario, the Federal Reserve doesn't have much room left to implement the previously mentioned plan of 2 more interest rate hikes. This implies that one crucial and sensitive factor affecting cryptocurrencies is the U.S. monetary policy and its future direction. It is possible that this situation could indeed come to an end. Moreover, we can observe that the 10-year U.S. Treasury bond is entering a phase of rapid decline, which goes against market expectations. There was a strong upward momentum before, and it was widely believed that it would surpass the highs of March and continue to rise. In the recent past, there has been speculation about a significant cryptocurrency market correction, possibly occurring in the second half of July, unless there are any unexpected events, black swan events, following the current operational logic. I believe that negative expectations will gradually weaken and dissipate, reducing the suppression and constraints on the overall market sentiment. Then the market, as I mentioned earlier, has an inherent outcome, and the trend is already quite evident. Once the external suppression is lifted, our inherent trend takes the lead in dictating the market sentiment. I believe that behind Bitcoin, there will be a performance in late July or August that surpasses everyone's imagination and exceeds expectations.
The next question is, for example, if we focus on the second half of July, what kind of trading or strategies would you recommend for mainstream cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin and Ethereum, as well as altcoins?
In my view, The current phase we've been experiencing since late June until now can be seen as a new market Trend. I referred to the wave of market trends from January to May this year as the first wave. Now, I believe we are entering the second wave of trends, which typically begins with the rise of core assets such as Bitcoin and Ethereum. After their surge, the focus shifts to popular narrative-driven coins or tokens with storytelling value, often referred to as POW proof of work in the race. Following this, we can expect the third wave, commonly known as meme coins. Please note that the drawing I'm presenting is a rough sketch, and there are numerous ways to illustrate it in more detail. There are 3 stages to this, and we are currently in what I believe is the first stage. The first stage is the core natural rise, as we can see from the surge in late June. It started with Bitcoin and Ethereum leading the way, followed closely by older POW coins like BCH. And then there are tokens like RWA in the race that have shown remarkable performance. So, in our current situation, if there is another market rally, let's say in July or August, from late July to August, I think the focus should be on narrative coins. During the first round, Bitcoin has already experienced a rapid surge in the short term. In case of another round, such as in late July or August, it may rise again. Assuming Bitcoin rises to $35,000, it can still be a good investment for large-scale funds, as core allocation always remains on Bitcoin and Ethereum. However, if you have a limited amount of capital and aim for higher returns, I suggest focusing on tokens with narrative value. When discussing hot tokens like RWA, it's recommended to prioritize leading tokens. In the RWA race, the focus is mainly on tokenizing US Treasury bonds. Early-stage projects may not have issued tokens yet or quickly lock them up. Consider real asset tokenization projects from earlier years, like STOs. Remember to differentiate between leading tokens and other assets. Decide which ones to prioritize and divest, and keep a rational mindset when navigating the RWA race. Another point I believe is that BCH and other older POW coins will likely continue their previous strong performance and have another opportunity. This is mainly because I have reviewed the applications submitted by ACC and other institutions for Bitcoin ETF deadlines. The ARC application is the earliest, with the deadline in August. As the deadline approaches, the market will have a heightened anticipation for this. These older POW coins still have significant upward momentum, as they have not been heavily speculated upon since the bear market. Additionally, the chip distribution has been cleaned up and concentrated in the hands of the market makers. This has resulted in the first round of price increase, but the market makers are unlikely to distribute all of their holdings. There may be several more movements to come, and we should all keep an eye on them.